Good evening, dear people. It is I, Heidi. Yes, and as Zumi says, remember to give that like button a lick. Yes. That's okay. We are going to talk about obscenity or obscene materials, uh, or rather objects. Hmm? Okay, but before we do that, mm, let's say hello to Bertil. Uh, those of you who do not know who Bertil is, he is a Moomin forefather uh, and my regular co-host. Also, Stefan, mm, a hedgehog in a watering can. On top, there, okay. Why is that sticker coming up? No. Right, there's a gamer behind me, so never mind that. Okay. Um, the comment we are going to talk about today is in regard with regards to the and oh, and by the way, we have this little sheet here given to me by Jens. Jens is a regular viewer uh, with whom my partner and I met in Berlin a few weeks ago. Now, this comment, the comment we're talking about here, was in regards to the video of mine on Monday. The news reboot episode on Monday. There's far right politician Eric Zemmour, a of Algerian descent, a Jew, which is quite hilarious that you're a Jew, right wing, and Holocaust denial. You deny the Holocaust, yet you're a Jew yourself. Hello, Nimrod. Anyway, he denied. Mr. Zemmour denies the well established fact that um, that homosexuals were deported to concentration camps as part of the Holocaust by the Nazi Germany during the time they occupied France, the French occupation period during the Second World War. Now, it's a well-established fact that homosexuals were deported from France, the French occupied France, during the Second World War. Anyway, this Mr. Zemmour is known for Holocaust denial, being a Holocaust denialist, which is, by the way, denying the Holocaust is a criminal offense in France. So he's been sued and convicted of Holocaust denial and hate speech. Okay, so the comment here. Okay, this is in French, but what it says basically says here. I asked asked for advice from an interpreter, um, fluent in French, having worked with French. Okay, in and having lived in a French-speaking country for a quarter of a century. I confirmed the content. I do speak French, but my mind is a bit rusty. Okay, this comment here says the French deny the deportation, the deportations of homosexuals because there weren't any in France, with the exception of the annexed Alsace, and the gays deported because they were resistant or they were of the resistance forces. And the first sentence here, the first sentence there, it can grammatically mean no homosexuals in France. That the French denied the deportations because any there weren't any gays in France. Okay, uh, and it can also mean, depending on context, it can also mean uh, that there weren't any deportations. So grammatically correct both translations, both. Okay, but this is an interesting statement either way, because if there weren't if there aren't any homosexuals in France, there if you know being a Holocaust denial, but it's this person is saying the French are the French are denying it, uh, as in all French, or at least the vast majority of French people, are denying these deportations, which is quite ridiculous to be quite honest. But it's a well established fact that French homosexuals were deported to concentration camps uh, and murdered by the Nazi Germany, Nazi regime. Uh, and this comment also goes to deny the fact that there were in general that there are in that whether or not there actually are any homosexuals in France. So how could there have been deportations if there aren't any gays? Like no gays in mother Russia. Hmm? Many are of the opinion, for example, that there are no homosexuals in mother Russia, which is, of course, factually incorrect. There are gays in Russia, as well as Super Ghost. Guten Tag, everyone. Guten Tag, Super Ghost. Anyway, yeah. Of course, there are gays in France, and of course, there were. Of course, there were deportations of gays from France. Of course, there were deport. Of course, there are gays in France. Okay. I will come back to this subject. Okay, in this live show. Okay, but first, I would like to go to something that I didn't exactly advertise in this live show. To be spoken about on this live show, but this is just too good to not not to talk about, because this was brought to my attention only some hours ago. Let me see. This was brought to my attention just around 8 o'clock p.m. Today. That would have been just 3 hours ago. So, just in. I did mention about this on my LGBTQ LGBT safe space server earlier. So let's bring up. So, unfortunately, we know there was a school shooting in Uvalde. Uvalde, I think it was the town called, what it was called, in Texas, which ended up very badly. 19 children dead and 2 dead teachers, and one of the teachers, a man, unfortunately I've forgotten the poor man's name, but his wife had a massive heart attack. I think it was heart attack. She had a massive heart attack and passed away the same day. and they left four children, and they were in their 40s, I think. Not so they weren't old. They were just in their 40s, parents of four. So, but as it turns out, there is no specific law in Texas limiting the amount of firearms you can have in your possession at any given moment, or in your household, on your person, in your car. You can. There's no law limiting uh, the amount of firearms you can have. At least any law you can. Of course, you can have some maybe lower level county regulations, but there is no limits by law how many firearms one civilian can have. So you and your high school friends can have uh, um, a whole. You can have enough firearms for a whole battalion of professional soldiers. Okay, Dr. Nimrod says, "Lol, I'm blind. Just noticed there is somebody in the background." Yes, that there is my partner, Katya. She's playing games. Yeah. Okay. Uh, but the thing is, according to Texas State Penal Code, Title 9, Chapter 43, Public Indecency. Let me get this. Subchapter B, Obscenity. And definitions: obscene obscene device means a device including a dildo or artificial vagina designed or marketed as useful primarily for stimulation of human genital organs. B. If any depictions or descriptions of sexual conduct described in this section are declared by a court of competent jurisdiction to be unlawfully included herein, this declaration shall not be valid, but this section, yada yada yada. And so, Chapter 9, Subchapter B, Section 40, Section 43.23, Obscenity. Let's get this. Okay, a person. Okay, Chapter 9, Chapter Title 9, Subsection B, Section 43.24. No, 43.23. F. A person who possesses 6 or more obscene devices or identical or similar obscene articles is presumed to possess them with intent to promote the same. So basically, it's illegal to possess in the state of Texas. It is an affirmative defense to prosecution under this section that the person who, hang on, it is an affirmative defense to prosecution under this section that the person who possesses or promotes material or devices prescribed by this section does so for a bona fide medical, psychiatric, judicial, legislative, or law enforcement purposes. This is just so weird. It's basically illegal to possess 6 or more uh, dildos in the or other uh, devices. Yeah. Um, this is really, really, really weird. I mean, this is so weird. Okay, and then there are confer, and then compared to this, and then this same section here. Let's go have a look. Okay, prostitution. This uh, pu- public indecency. Chapter Title 9, Chapter 43. Public indecency. There's prostitution. Is illegal in Texas. Let's see, solicitation of prostitution, promotion of prostitution, online promotion. Yeah, you can't even promote prostitution online legally in the state of Texas. Aggravated promotion of prostitution. Yeah. Aggravated online promotion. Compelling prostitution. A person commits an offense if the person is knowingly causes another by force, threat, coercion, or fraud to commit prostitution. I mean, this is just so weird. Okay. Okay. What do we have in the chat? Bowie. Yeah, and Republic says yeah, and Republicans are in fact responsible for it. For the lack of limit for how many firearms you can possess in the state of Texas. Nimrod says that's CGI, my friend. Everyone knows there's no such thing as fins. Huh? Oh yeah. Uh, Peter says better ban hands too. Just ban all genitalia, says Nimrod. Republicans say cry and complain when filthy liberals accept donations. Also, Republicans accepts money from special interest lobbyists (IRA) and base their laws, etc. around them. Supergov says hypocrisy. Thy name is CIS. Ultra religious conservatives. Yes. Obscenity. Yeah. This yes, here definition of obscene device. Yeah, means a device including a dildo or an artificial vagina. I mean, that's not normal. Yeah. Uh, yes, for obscene display. So a person commits an offense knowing its content and character if he wholesale promotes he or she. Well, he, of course, men are always buying 6 or more dildos. Mm? Of course, men buy dildos. It's like as if all Republican ultra conservative Republicans Republican men buy dildos. Yeah, sarcasm or something. I don't know. Um, or possessed with the intent or wholesale promotes any obscene material or obscene device. Except provided by subsection H. Okay. The punishment for subsection A or B for a felony of the second degree. Yeah. It is just so weird. Just Jens says 700 guns, no problem. 7 dildos, throw the pervert in jail. Exactly. Exactly. Um, I I couldn't have said it any better than myself. Um, this man is a genius with his words. So, Jens, okay, I need to take that and take that, save that one. Okay, okay. Let's. Oops. Okay, just a moment. Okay, then now it's this has been now immortalized. Jens's comment has now been immortalized, being pinned on top of the not safe for work channel on my channel server. Okay, okay then, but this is just so ridiculous. This entire situation here that we have. Um, because these idiots still exist, okay? And these French idiots still exist who think no homosexuals exist in France and or they weren't deported during the Nazi regime or the Nazi occupation of France during the Second World War. And it's still baffling me. And regarding the gun issue in the States, now they're planning on getting the issue is they try to solve the gun problem with guns, with more guns, because now they're saying the politicians, some Republican, some Republican politicians are saying we should, okay, we have a gun problem, we have a problem of with these nut jobs having guns, and these nut jobs coming to shoot children in schools. And how do we prevent them? We give teachers guns. How do you solve a problem by making it worse? U.S. has more guns than civilians. Also, U.S. more mass shootings than any other Western industrialized world. If you can't see the coloration, then you need to take your bias blinders off. Yes. Oh yeah. The issue is that there have been, I think, there have been over 1,000. If I'm not completely mistaken, there have been over 1,000 school shootings since Columbine. Okay. Okay. I will. Okay. I will give you a quick um, moment to have a guess. How many students have experienced gun violence at school since Columbine? And Columbine High School shooting was on April 20th, 1999. How many children have experienced gun violence um, in the 23 years since Columbine? Just have a wild guess. Do not Google. Okay, this is quite a lot. Okay, I will tell you that children in America, more than 311,000 students have experienced gun violence at school since Columbine in this 23 years. 311,000. Uh, 11 311,000 children in 331 schools. In 2021 alone, there were 42 school shootings in America. At least 185 children, educators, and other people have been killed in these assaults. Another 365 have been injured. Yes, you heard that one right. This is based on a not. This is from Washington Post. So, and this year alone, in 2022 alone, we've had at least 24 acts of gun violence in K-12 campuses during school day. 24 in elementary schools, K2 campuses during school day this year alone. Um, okay. Peter says, frustrated Texans with lots of guns and no toys to relieve. Jens says, and Jens, since 2020, firearms are the top reason of death for people under 20. Ultra conservatives, guns, because my ego matters more than other people's lives. Yes, get super goes I guess in 200. Nimrod says, quote unquote, but gun laws aren't a solution on NRA. Peter says that that's seriously fucked up. In Bowie, in most cases, sadly, racism and other hate crimes are a part of the gun violence. Exactly. The whole mindset in the US is dehumanizing, precisely. The entire country, that is the United States of assholes, is dehumanizing. They're saying um, healthcare is not a right; it's a privilege. The CEO of Nestle says has said the that clean drinking water is not a right; it's a privilege. But I think that guy is Swiss or French, so these are companies. I think it's Swiss. Okay, I'll post this in the chat. Oh, by the way, a big shout out to Flems. Flems is a patron of mine. Uh, Flems has been a patron of mine since the very beginning of um, of my Patreon, which is 6 months, 8 months ago that I started my Patreon. By the way, if you haven't already, give this a thumbs up. If you haven't, yeah, pizza. So glad I live in Aussie. Yeah. Anyway, as I said, yes, please. So please, thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Also, please share my channel because I'm just on the verge of getting to a Jan says slavery 2.0 minimum wage barely high enough to survive, high unemployment. Yeah, Superghost says wasn't there a study that said only 16% or so of gun violence is in self-defense? So quote unquote more guns only solves less than fifth of gun violence. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that study or any study relating to the relation between the self or the portion of self-defense within gun violence in the United States. Anyway, please share this video also and my other videos, please share my playlists, okay, and my videos and my channel because I'm just about to get to reach 100 subscribers. Because it would really mean the world to me to reach 100 subscribers by the end of the month. It's because I as of right now I have 97 subscribers, and it's 27th of May, and I would really it would really mean the world to me if I could reach 100 subscribers by the end of the month. So please share my shit, okay? I would really highly appreciate that. Oh, by the way, I'll be right back. Yeah, okay. So Zumi says because they want another studies to be done, the NRA, that is, who or what is NRA? I could look that up for myself. National Rifle Association, yes. But I haven't really, honestly, I haven't really looked for any studies because it hasn't been on my interest list high enough. This is basically grapefruit. Let's see what. Water, sugar, grapefruit juice, extract, carbon dioxide, aroma, grapefruit essence, quinine, I think that is in English, stabilizers, glycerol ethers, and coloring. Okay. Weird enough. Okay. The world is mental. Okay. Um, and Jens, so basically this Jens, this tastes quite a lot like the drink that I gave you in Berlin, but it doesn't have alcohol, and it doesn't have gin in it. So Super Ghost says NRA didn't do the study, but they sure as heck tried to shove it under the carpet and discredit it like the tobacco companies tried to do with the medical studies linking smoking to cancer. Yeah. Nimrod says Zumi, the NRA doesn't want the truth to get out. The tobacco lobby was the same. Big, quote unquote, big government is required and needs to step up. Uh, Being sorry won't stop the violence, precisely. And saying, President Biden saying, you're he supports trans kids doesn't mean shit. It doesn't mean shit if nothing is done about it. So, oh, by the way, doing weird things. I'm planning a new tattoo, and the tattoo uh, include will have space comma in it. Hey, Nimrod says I'm drinking Sofiero 7.5%, boring but cheap. Uh, okay, I drink I drink only Belgian beers, but recently uh, I've been I've had only mostly German beers because I bought quite quite a number of those from Berlin when went my partner and I, and Bertil of course was there with us as well going to Berlin. I bought quite a quite a number of German beers to be brought back home, but I typically drink only Belgian Belgian beers, the dark Trappist beers, and then some strong ale type beers. And these tend to be very strong. If I Nero says if I had the money and Systembolaget weren't so anti-beer, yeah. Here in Finland, the Alko, which is the state liquor shop, um, is very. Uh, they have some good Belgian beers, but it's somewhat limited. Uh, they have very good Belgian beers available, but not as much as I would hope, and it's ridiculously expensive. For example, one bottle of Leffe is €3 and 60 cents, and in Berlin it was from a regular supermarket at an S-Bahn station. It was €1 and 50 cents, so less than half. Way less than half. Bowie says it proves how fascist the US actually is. The NRA are indeed a fascist company. People need to get it through their ass brains that the truth could never be hidden. Exactly. Exactly. Precisely so. Okay, let's get. Okay. Anyway, let's get Anyway, this is my Patreon. Up to from €3 onwards, up to 30 euros a month. Yeah, 6 pack of beer from Aldi is cheaper than one beer in Finland. Yes, it's fucking ridiculous. And if okay, in regular, we all know that stuff at airports are ridiculously expensive. But if you buy a one can this size of a gin and grapefruit drink, it's industrially made. It's the stuff that I gave you, Jens. It's just a regular thing that Finns drink all the time. So prosit. If if you buy one can, unopened can from a cafeteria at Prosit, if you buy one of the just one can unopened from a cafeteria at Helsinki airport, it's €8 a pop. It's like €8.10 or something, like €8, €8.10 a pop. So Nimrod, I would say, except wine and hard liquor. Prosit. They hate the Nordic countries that alcohol, the liquor shops. They love wine, especially cheap wine, and especially cheap hard liquor. Hey, de säger prosit Heidi partner.
Ja.
De säger prosit Heidi partner.
Tack, tack.
Tack. There's a third one. Prosit. Yes.
Hay fever.
She's saying hay fever. It's like, hey! And you get fever from hey! So it's hay fever. Nimrod, moi! Okay. Let's get the. Okay. Well. What I don't like about YouTube is the horrendous amount of ads. For example, well, I must admit I use ad blocker. As of right now, let's refresh the page. As of right now, the AdBlock Plus is blocking 26 ads on just the YouTube front page alone. So yeah, I'm on. I just gotta be brutally honest. I use AdBlock Plus, so just fucking hate those fucking ads. I do understand that quite a number of YouTubers Supergirl says, will we ever get a gaming live stream with Heidi and her lovely partner? Would be a lovely, maybe a good co-op game or two. Who knows? I've done gaming streams on Twitch, and I don't really like the platform. It's quite distasteful. it's quite distasteful because apparently it seems uh, the individual content creators can create rules of their own for their own channel. You know, wi- without the regard of for any um, yeah. I mean, I happened to mention the type of content I do on YouTube. Well, I was on a Twitch live show chat of another content creator who also does stuff on YouTube. I happened to mention uh, the type of content I do. I got banned immediately. I got like that banned. Why? Self promotion. I checked the rules of the Twitch community guideline rules, and there is no mention, to my knowledge, that no, banning self promotion on someone else's chat. And I wouldn't say that it wasn't, and I don't think it was even uh, self promotion. But I got banned, and and then I checked this particular content creator's Twitch profile, the channel page, and then I had to click several times to find that this person had several extra rules, which you're supposed to be aware of before you go to the chat. I mean, who goes and reads the fucking and Luke, who even thinks comes up with the idea that there are some extra rules that aren't provided by the platform. Because the platform that some extra rules that are not provided by the platform, and I got banned. I appealed to the moderators to no avail, and then I just called them fucking transphobes, and I decided not to keep out of Twitch for a good while. Okay, Nimrod says I just got premium from YouTube to stop the ads and to listen to music. Fan vad dyrt. It's like 10 euros a month or something. Nimrod says that's not cool. Bowie says nobody reads the rules, they just chat. Yes, precisely. And I thought that this particular content creator was a decent person. Of course, they are. It was a moderator who made the call. It wasn't the content creator themselves. So it wasn't the content creator who made the final call to ban me, and to refuse the appeal. I thought in the heat of the moments, I thought I would like go on to her. Yes, it's a female, so I thought I would go troll her comment section on YouTube, or send her an really angry email, but then just it's counterproductive to be a massive cunt. Uh, so if I'm unhappy with the service being provided, so anyway, I think it's been 50 odd minutes. I think I've said whatever, everything I want to say today. But please don't forget to check my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Heidi's Corner, and there's a link there's a link to my Patreon and PayPal in the description box down below. And actually, as of next week, as of Monday next week, I will start working part time. I will reduce my working hours to 80%, which means that I will have a lot more time on my hands, which means that I will have much more time for my channel, which is a good thing because I can then improve the quality. I can then improve the quality of my content because I have more time to concentrate my energy on it. Okay, so without further ado, please check my the links if you aren't already on my server. Please, on both of my servers, please go and join. They're fun, and the links, leave a like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And please share my channel anywhere you can, because I would love to have 100 subscribers by the end of May. I have 97 now. I would love to reach 100, and there will be a 100 subscriber special live stream. But and thank you, Flems, by the way, for being a patron. By saying goodbye to Stefan and Bertil, and I will see you on Monday.